Hello, my lovelies, and welcome to season 3, episode 3 of the Prosperous Yogini podcast. This is our 2nd July episode, and as promised, I'm aiming to do one energy mindset episode a month, one strategy. Like, come on, what's some action I can take here that I can test and see if it worked with me? What's some data driven results that we can look at? And today, the topic of the podcast is profit versus turnover. And this has been inspired by actually one of my best social media engagement posts I've had very recently. Across my two businesses, so I am Amy Yoga, sole trader, and I also have a limited company, Amy Jones Mentor and Business Strategist. And across those two businesses, in the last 12 months, I have gone past 6 figures. I've turned over 6 figures. I put my accounts together for the accountants, and like I had that, I hadn't actually realized. Oh dear, confession time now, Amy. There is a reason why I now have an accountant. But I hadn't fully realized. I had a suspicion, but I didn't fully realize. I hadn't totaled up the total turnover for Amy Yoga in the last 12 months in terms of the tax year, and the total turnover of my mentoring business for the last 12 months. And yes, I am past that magic 6-figure. So I have a 6-figure business. I'm a 6-figure business owner. And what you may be expecting me to do is plaster that fact everywhere, like 6-figure, and then have the intention to be scaling to multi-6-figure business owner. Yeah, I have the intention to earn more. Don't you worry, my darling. I've got a 10-year-old daughter who has been horse obsessed for the last, is it 5 years? Oh my God, said hell. Like, I honestly am not like, so I sidetracked here, but this is a great sidetrack, guys. If you don't know, I live in Cornwall and I am surf mad. You can tell from my new website, amyjonesmental.com. I am surf mad. I love going in the sea. And of course, when I had my children, I envisaged that they would have that same love. And, I've done my best to foster it, trust me. And neither of my kids like surfing. My little girl loves going in the sea. She doesn't like putting on a wetsuit, so it often has to be warm sea. She loves going to the sea. She's an excellent swimmer. She can surf. Her love, the thing that lights her soul on fire, the thing that she spends virtually her whole time doing or thinking about or learning about or watching about, is horse riding. And this isn't a passing phase, guys. This is why, if somebody is listening to this podcast who is in the know when it comes to horses, right, please help me. She has been like this for the last 5 years, and there's no sign of the passion dwindling. If anything, it's the opposite. And I am confronting a desire for this little girl to maybe own a horse one day, for certainly this little girl to carry on horse riding. It's not a cheap hobby, guys. Yeah, 100% I am going to expand. And one of my driving factors is my little girl. Another one of my driving factors, and probably maybe my biggest one, is I know I am a kind-hearted, big-hearted human being. I know you are too, by the way. And I know money is an amplifier. I know money just amplifies all that is in our heart, all the good that we came to do. And I know that the world right now needs more money in our hands, and I know how to do it. I know how to make more money. I know how I can make. I know I can scale my business. I know how to scale my business. It's actually not rocket science, guys, in terms of strategy. And I know that I can help you do the same. And then I like, I want to say 100%, but genuine, like, I'm not making this up. 100% track record with everyone. All of my one-to-one clients all make their money back, but it's not even about making their money back on their investment. They make their money back, and then they know how to do it. And then it's just, this is this thing that they can carry on doing. Like, this is why I'm like, I should charge more. But also, like the price, you see beyond my prices, see the long-term investment, the knowledge you'll get from working with me. Anyway, So for a good long time now, I don't know how long this has been trending, to be honest. You scroll through social media and you're like, people saying, six-figure business coach, scale your business to six figure. 5K mums is a popular one. 10K mums is the real popular one. And I have never, ever, ever felt happy about making those promises. Come and work with me. I will scale your business to 10K. Listen, sweetheart, if you want to work with me and you want to scale to 10K, I absolutely know how I can get you there. Your ability to get there will depend in terms of time frame, will depend on where you are now in your business and where you are energetically in terms of your energetic set point. So if you're turning over £1,000 a month in your business now and you want to get scale to 10K mums and you've got offers that you're maxed out at the moment teaching with doing with everything else you've got going on, then we're going to need to restructure. We can get to 10K, but it's going to take time. And this is why it really annoys me. It is so arbitrary. It is so arbitrary. You can see how angry I am to make these promises to people. Work with me, I'll scale you to 5K. Work with me and I'll scale you to 10K, right? It is so arbitrary. And not only that, because it depends on so many variables on that individual, people sign up with these people, don't get 5, 10K, whatever it is. And guess what? They feel like they failed. Maybe they just needed a bit more time. Maybe the advice they were given was shit, right? Okay. It's not about a 10K month. The other thing that I think makes me really uncomfortable about the whole claims around I'm a six-figure business coach, I'm a easy 10K months, 50K months, whatever they are claiming, right? Whatever they are claiming. First of all, someone might be turning over easily 50K a month, right? And it might be easy for them right now. Trust me, if we went back to ground zero of that person's business, it wasn't easy for them. Everyone, there's a very few people that wake up the next day and are turning over 50K in their business overnight just by chance. There's a process, there's a journey. We all start from zero. We all expand energetically, our energetic set point at our own pace. And when we start comparing ourselves or joining someone else's path is when it just doesn't work for us. The other thing that is completely missed in the narrative, you see how angry I am about this? Because honestly, I've peered behind. I'm very lucky. I've had the opportunity to see behind, some people's businesses that outwardly are like, whoa, they're making a lot of money. And then you peer behind and you see like the reality that is for them to make that sort of money in terms of the hours that they put in, the members of the team, the staff around them that are generating those sales, the years it took them to get to that point. And actually, what are they making in terms of profit? And the pressure, from the pressure they are under to sustain that level of turnover because of what they built up around them. It is so easy in this game to create a monster if you were chasing an arbitrary, I want to say I earn 10K a month, I want to say I earn 20K a month, I want to say I'm a six-figure business owner, I want to say I'm a multi-six-figure, seven-figure business owner. Don't get me wrong, this isn't criticizing the people that are there. I am I follow some really inspirational people who are there, and but my eyes are wide open in terms of I know what they do to get there, and some of it isn't right for me. I don't want a big team. I don't want a team. I will invest in people to help me, but I don't want the responsibility of a team. I did the school runs. I'm a semi-pro surfer. I'm not a semi. Can I just very much clarify? I am really not a semi-pro surfer. In fact, I'm pretty average surfer. So someone who's surfed for 20 years. But I absolutely love surfing. and want the flexibility to be able to go and see if the surf's good, right? So there's certain things about my lifestyle that doesn't mean it's limiting my income, like no limits here, but be realistic about what it is I want to build and what that might mean in terms of turnover or how I like to work. So, let me just take you to my mastermind for a moment. I think I spoke. I did. I think I know. I recorded episode 2 a moment ago. I spoke in my episode 2, previous episode about my mastermind. How it's a small group, and I envisage 8, but actually both times that I've gone to sell it, I've lent more into 6. Like I want to keep my one-to-one number small. I don't want my mastermind to be this massive thing. I don't want 20 people in it. We want past 10. Like it's a sacred space. It's not a scalable space. And then, yes, I do have, if I, in both businesses, but more so the yoga business, absolutely have some digital training courses that are immensely scalable in terms of sales. But I am fully aware of list size, conversion rates, and what that takes in terms of generating that level of sales, particularly what it takes in terms of investment into Facebook ads and Instagram ads. So a lot of the time when we see these people with these bigger businesses than where we are now, and they are just spouting off about how they got to 6 figures, multi 6 figures, and not sharing fully the journey, not letting you know how big their team is, not letting you know how big their sales team is, not telling you how long they've been in the game and how much they've invested in Facebook or Instagram ads, then you are not seeing the true picture. You are not seeing the full picture. It is, and unless you are doing that, unless you have a team, unless you are audience growth beyond your organic efforts, which is, you're not paying for ads, like it's uncomparable, guys. It's uncomparable, right? And this is where the conversation of profit versus turnover is so bloody important. Now, so I'm just going to be really honest with you guys because I think it really helps. Yes, I turned over between my 2 businesses 6 figures. The yoga business, in terms of turnover, the second half of the year has declined because I have pulled certain offers intentionally, guys. Intentionally, I couldn't carry on doing everything I was doing in that business if I wanted to start a new business. That was the truth. And so the mentoring program for yoga teachers, I've retired that program out. And I would say actually online course sales have been interesting. I have felt a bit of a dip, but I'm also seeing an uptick again. So I'm refusing to believe, the narrative that online courses aren't selling, it's not true. I've had to remarket it and rephrase it, and like that is now working for me. Like things never stay still. So yes, and then I also have a foundation teacher training course that again, I haven't relaunched it again this year, so that's impacted my turnover. I want to say turnover. But there's a huge difference between turnover and profit. So my turnover in my yoga business is down, but it hasn't impacted my profits because I've pulled back on some of my costs. Now, let me bump over to Z new business, all singing, all dancing, fancy new website. I am the bee's knees. Okay. I'm going to let you know profit in my first year has been $3,000 because I have pretty much invested and this is intentional. And I wanted this business to get off the ground with like a rocket up its arse. I wasn't waiting around for this business. I have reinvested virtually every penny back in this business, both in terms of setting up business setup, sales pages, landing pages, launches, new websites, branding. I have been running low cost Facebook ads. I don't spend loads of Facebook ads, but I do spend about £200 to grow my mailing list for this new business in my Facebook ads. And I learned that from Amy Yoga. I'm not using ads in Amy Yoga at the moment. But I'm conscious that, you know, in terms of growth, audience growth, like my organic efforts only go so far. So I have, and then my clients that I've worked with, like I have literally gone all out to give them the best time ever. I have probably, side note, undercharged for some things. I'm going to be honest there. But I intentionally set out to not this year, this first year in this new business was not about making money. It was about, you know, literally like a big, it's not like a little flag in the sand where I'm here. It's a massive flag in the sand. And it's like, it's a new business, but I'm not new. It's a new business, but I've been doing this for 17 years. It's a new business, but I'm damn good at this. That's been the energy. So I've really, 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 really invested in this business. So although on paper, and everybody absolutely loved that post on social media where I shared officially I'd hit the 6K figure mark, which I won't lie is definitely, you know, it has been one of the ego-driven goals of mine. And it did feel good. And it does kind of feel good. It does feel a bit like, you know, yeah, I'm in the new league now, you know, well, load of bollocks, right? It did feel a bit like that. My ego did love it. But when I shared it on social media, I was like, listen, guys, I could easily come on this post and go, hey, I'm super amazing. I'm at 6 figures. Look how great I am. And this is the reason why you should work with me. And instead I went on and said, I've hit 6 figures and I am proud and pleased of that achievement. But please note that this is turnover, not profit. Okay. That there's a massive difference between the two. If someone is talking to you about 10K mums and you are based in the UK and they're not talking to you about navigating that threshold, then they haven't done it. They haven't been past that threshold themselves. So they're lying to you on that front. Because there's so, I mean, there's shady practices in everything, you know, human nature, light and dark. But you know, one of the practices is in the business coaching industry to make these promises to help people scale to 10K mums, because that's a hook that hooks me in. Oh, I'd love a 10K month. But nobody talks about VAT threshold, which is currently at 90 grand turnover, not profit, guys, turnover. So if your turnover is over 90 grand, then you have to go past the VAT threshold, which is 20% tax on all turnover over 90 grand. Like, so how do I navigate that? How do I plan and navigate for that? And if a coach who is promising you 10K months is not also talking about that, they don't know what they're talking about, right? Then it's so 10K months. Then what are their profit? What is the profit after that? Because if you're like busting your gut to make 10K turnover a month, and after that you're taking a grand profit, what's the fucking point? And I've got a dear friend, and if she's listening, I'm not going to name her, but if she's listened to podcasts, she's going to know exactly that I'm talking about her. I've got a dear friend who has a similar business to me in terms of the yoga training business. And I'm going to just say now, if you're listening, you know I've say this to you a lot. I genuinely mean it. You're so much fucking better with your money than I am. And I thank you for reminding me of this frequently. She is great. And she taught me a lot. She tracks her money. And you guys, I track my money now. We absolutely should know week to week, month to month, year to year. You should know what's going in and what's going out in your business, what's costing you money, what's making you money, what's a good return on your investment, what is a waste of money. Okay. Money is energy. Money loves to be counted. Money loves to be looked after. So even if you're counting losing money, at least you know you're fucking losing money, right? And the other thing is you're counting and you're making money. And you're like, oh, I'm only making £800. You've made money. You've made money. You've proved you can do it, right? You proved you can turn a profit. So you can grow from that. You can grow from that, right? Anyway, she always in her yoga business, her turnover is always lower than mine. Her profit is always higher than mine. I'm going to repeat that. We have virtually similar businesses in terms of the yoga training side of things. We're good friends and we support each other I love this woman, right? And nothing lights me up more than to see her successes. And I love the fact, I love the fact that this is the case. Although she's catching me up on the turnover, I have to say, she's her turnover is always less than mine. Her profit is always more than mine. I'm just going to leave that there, guys, right? Because there's a huge difference between profit and turnover. And you've got, when people say, I want to make 5K, I want to make 10K. And if you just, do you know what? If you were like thinking, well, what shall I aim for, Amy? And I'm really freaked out by the VAT threshold. Like, if you're not anywhere near it, stop worrying about it. If you want my advice, right? I personally, like, for me, we're self-employed for a freedom-based business. And the business model that I work in, love, is, I think step one, guys, I would aim to scale to between 5 and 7K turnover months, with, little outgoings as you possibly can, but being realistic in terms of growth comes from audience growth. Some paid growth through Facebook ads into lead ads, or Google ads. It depends. So please don't take my word on this. I would take personal advice on your business on this, because it depends. Helps, but only when you've got the money to invest. So again, what's that point? It depends. But I think, like, the people I predominantly work with one-to-one, this is the model that we are going for. I've got a couple of people who are past 6 figures, past the VAT threshold, and it's fine. Like, it's absolutely fine. But the vast majority of people I work with, we work towards around 5 to 7K turnover month, below that VAT threshold, freedom-based businesses. And like, if you get to like 7K, 8K turnover a month, and you're like, I'm ready for more. You're like, okay, so part of that, I'm in the UK, and I need to navigate around that threshold. How do I do that? What's next? Right? This is now leading into the real truth about this 5K, 10K mums, is like, it's tied into your nervous system. It's tied into your energetic set point, guys. What does that mean? You might say, like, let me just say, like, okay, so I'm at 6 figures. Does it feel possible for me to grow that? Yes, it does. But interestingly, the thing, moving forward into the second year of my new business, and like navigating my yoga training business around this new business, my main goal is to actually work on bringing costs down, so turnover, profit goes up. And that honestly feels really doable, particularly with the mentoring business, because I've really invested in that. And now I've planted some serious seeds, and I'm ready to let them flourish. Okay, so that feels really possible. It does feel possible in the mentoring business to increase my turnover 100%, because really you spent half the year of the first year pissing around, I won't lie, before getting some decent offers out. And those offers are growing in momentum as well. So yeah, that feels really possible. It feels possible. Does it feel like I could do multi-six figures? Well, maybe. Like this, if this sounds uninspirational, I'm sorry, but not that I don't care. It's in the mix. It's in the mix, but it's also in the mix of, my little girl is going to year 6. She's going to be going to secondary school. If you don't know, I've shared this story. We've had issues with school refusal. There's some neurodiversity there. I'm lucky. I've got a pretty much non-verbal autistic nephew, right? I do not experience what some parents experience in terms of neurodiverse children, but she requires a lot of parenting, and I'm really conscious of that. I'm 46, I'm nearly 47, I'm perimenopausal, right? I just have a teenage son and a professional surfer. That you knew that was coming. You had to know that was coming, right? So this is one into the mix. So yeah, I'm like open to multi-6 figures, doubling my turnover. but not at the expense of those other energetic costs. So I refuse to believe that I can't earn more money, because this is one of the challenges. You think, if I want to earn more money, I have to work harder. I can't work harder. I can't earn more money. I want you to really pay attention to that, guys. That is one of the biggest conditionings that, even now, when I'm thinking about, I like talking to you about it, and I'm saying I refuse to believe that I can, if I want to earn more money, I've got to work harder. If I feel into that energetically, I'm like, yeah, it is definitely there. Like, I'm thinking, wow, I want to work hard, but I've got to work hard, and I've got all of that other stuff going on. Like, you've got all that other stuff going on. So it's really interesting. This is now nervous system. This is our energetic set point. And this is why these people promising you to get to a 6-figure business, to get to 5K, 10K mums, 15K mums, 50K mums, whatever the promise is, like, just be super cautious of, first of all, what they're promising and how they're going to tell you to get there. Because if it's like, I've got this strategy that will work, I would literally be like, it worked for you. I don't know if it worked for me. How do you look at me and look at my business and look at my uniqueness and guide me from your experiences to that point? Second of all, how do you feel? Yeah, I mean, we could all go, yes, I'd love a 50K month. Yes, I'd love a 10K month. Hell yes, Amy, 3K, 2K would be amazing. Like, wherever you are, guys. Like, and this is it. We're all at different places. We're human beings. This isn't a hierarchical system where, the good people get 10K mums, the really good people get 50K mums. And that's what we're led to believe. And that's what we can believe ourselves. Like, there's some brilliant people out there not making any fucking money, right? Because it's down to our nervous system, our energetic set point. Where am I? What do I believe is possible for me? What evidence do I have so far of what I've achieved? And am I really stepping back and actually judging that as a really good achievement? Like, here is one of my favorite things. Like, somebody will say, I launched this, I only sold 3 places. And I'd be, okay, I failed. And I'm like, okay, right, well, okay. When you say launched, what happened? How many people knew about it? How big is your email list? How many people arrived on the landing page? What's the conversion rate? Oh, that's really fucking great conversion. 3 people is amazing. If you let it grow over time, if you grow your email list, if you perhaps a bit more structured launch, got that information out in front of more people, you'd make more sales. But this is it. We see these launch gurus promising 5K launches, 5-figure launches. And then nobody's talking about the size of your email list. Nobody's talking about industry standard conversion rates, which I do love. There's a Money Mindset, very famous. If you don't know her, like, I'd be surprised, but she's amazing. Denise Duffield Thomas. I love her, because I can't remember what podcast, and she scroll through, there's loads of them, or Google it. But she talks really honestly about conversion rates, and like the early days when she's only sold 4 and now she's sold like millions worth of courses, and conversion rates. She talks really honestly about, conversion rates in terms of email lists. And like, it instantly made me respect her, because so often people don't understand that if they've got like 200 people on their email list, an average email list conversion rate is 1 to 2%. How many sales are you going to make into that offer? Assuming the offer you make is what that is 200 people are interested in, not to mention what's the industry standard open rate on that. Well, to a list of 200, anywhere between 40 and 50 is good. So 100 people are seeing it. You start to see how it is all a load of bollocks. And you want to be working with someone who meets and sees you where you are now and understands that growth expansion in terms of profit and turnover in your business is multi-layered, from the audience size that you've got now, from your capacity organically to grow that audience, from your capacity to invest in paid audience growth, whether that's a yay or a nay, from your offer suite from where it is now, and the capacity to grow into that scalable offers, and offers that just aren't scalable and you don't want them to be scalable, right the way through to the energetic side of where we are at and how we feel genuinely feel about earning more money? Do I believe it's possible? Yes, of course I'd want it. Yes, of course I'd say yes, but how do I energetically feel about it? So then it's like, okay, it's manifesting. We get the spreadsheet out, guys. I do this with my clients all the time. We get the spreadsheets out and like, we look at what you're earning exactly now from individual offers and where you're at. And then I'm like, okay, I did this weekend. I've got a lady who like she's at the beginning of her business, but she's had incredibly, like, this is self-employed, she's had an incredibly successful employed professional career. So like she's not ground zero, but she's ground zero a little bit in terms of the offers. And she's going to start 2 yoga classes, but the business is going to build up into much bigger than just those 2 yoga classes a week. But even that, we looked at what she would make if there were 8 people in these classes a week, what her costs were, and over the year. I was like, well, there's 7 grand. Okay. So you've got the capacity to do that. And all of a sudden you're like, that's completely possible. Plus, to be honest, I could charge a bit more. Plus, to be honest, I could fit a couple more people in the room. I was like, well, that just adds in. And then if you add in this, because the people coming to these classes will buy this, there you go. There's an extra grand. And then we layer it in. And before we know it, we've got a model that feels possible. And because it feels possible, aka the nervous system is going, yeah, okay, I'm willing to give this a go. I see this is possible. We take action. And then we're on the journey of expansion. We take action, we have some success, we learn some stuff along the way, and some stuff goes wrong. We get data, we get information. We get information on our turnover and profit. We see what is working, what isn't working, what's costing us loads of money and isn't worth the investment, what actually is worth a massive investment, and being patient on the return on that investment. Okay. We get all of this information that allows us to grow. And all of a sudden we go from, no business to turning over 1 or 2K a month. Just that, guys, get used to it. And then go, okay, well, how can I grow this? What are the next steps? But we've already got a practice. Oh, and then sometimes your income goes down. You're going to have an income dip. You're definitely going to have an income dip. I've been doing this for 17 years. I've had income dips, and yeah, they still make you a bit wobbly. But what's beautiful about the data is when you have data on your profit and loss, you can see the income dip, you can see the bounce back off the income dip, and you can understand and explain the income dip. So like, I can really explain the income dip in Amy Yoga. It was intentional. Like, I stopped a program that was a significant chunk of income in my yoga business because I wanted to start something new. And like, I know it would have been stupid of me to think, I'm going to stop this, I'm going to start something completely new with a new audience, and it will instantly replace that income. Well, that's not realistic. But this is where the data of what's my turnover, what's my profit, what have I experienced over the years, I'm going to let myself compassionately expand. Ultimately, I want a freedom-based business, one where I get to decide how I work, when I work, if I work. I love working, so I'm going to work. I love, fulfilling my purpose. One where I get to decide how much money I make. It's not about 6K, multi 6K, 10K months. It's not about any of that. It's about knowing. This is it, guys. It's about knowing that I get to decide, knowing that I have the capacity, the capability to make as much money as I so desire. And that desire, that economic set point, it's just growing. It's just growing. And if I force it, if I feel like there should be more, if I say more, I should be earning more. I should definitely be able to do this. Listen to this language. It is force. It is resistance. Resistance is futile. No, it is force. It's resistance. Money is a flow of energy. Let's tap into that flow. This is so hard, guys. I'm giving you advice which is so fucking hard, right? Is a practice, a daily practice. In those, I've got another one-to-one client who is selling seasonally, selling holiday opportunities, holiday workshops, and the sales have been really annoyingly slow. Have we had to hold our nerve? Oh my God, yes. And how does it look like holding our nerve? People are going to come. This is a great offer. People, what was the evidence? People came last year. They loved it. People are telling me they're going to book. I followed up and reached out to people who've already booked last year, made those invitations. I followed up on all inquiries that I've had so far. I have done all I can. Now I'm into the energy of trust and receiving. This is so hard. I'm going to hold my nerve. I'm going to hold my nerve, and people are going to come. Picked up a message before I hit record on this podcast. She's virtually full. A couple of weeks ago, we were like, oh my God, we need a few more bookings. We're not even going to break even. She's virtually full. It is such a hard practice. It's why you shouldn't do this stuff alone, guys. It's why you shouldn't do stuff alone. So what would I like you guys to take away from this podcast episode today? Get down with an Excel spreadsheet if you don't already. You track your money in and out, know exactly what your costs are. I don't care if you're tracking losing money, tracking not making a lot of money, track it. Money loves to be counted. Then look at what you're charging, what your offers currently are. Can they work better for you energetically, right? What is the capacity to scale in those offers? And I mean that, like, do you want to scale them? Like, you're like, I love teaching small yoga classes. I love working one-to-one with people. That's fine. Know that they have a cap on, their turnover, and that's fine. How am I growing my audience? How am I inviting more people into my party? Because as well as nurturing those that are already in there, showing up for those people that are giving me money like I've never showed up before, because they're going to give me more money and bring more people to my party. Also aware that bringing people into my world, however my broadcast channels are, social media, email list, whatever it is, that more people in that world mean more people know about me, which means more people are going to give me money. And the last thing I want you to know is that right now, as you are listening to this podcast, there are people out there looking for you, wanting to give you money. You energetically open up to this. We energetically open up to that possibility. And then we put ourselves out there. Not from this one post, this one email will definitely yield these sales. From that, I'm just going to keep showing up, keep making those invitations, keep energetically expanding my capacity to receive, growing my energetic set point. And actually, just to finish on that, what's the book I read? There's two books. Is it The Millionaire Next Door? I think it's The Millionaire Mindset. I can't remember the author. It's very much from a male gaze. It's quite out of date. But there's one bit in it where he uses this example, and I'm so sorry to use this guy's name, but you're going to get it. If Donald Trump only had £1 million in the bank, he would consider himself poor. The energetic set point of billionaires, multimillionaires are different to ours. Okay. That doesn't mean what we're striving to be billionaires and multimillionaires, whatever, but it is a great example of this energetic set point and expanding always, because this is nervous system work. Expand with compassion, expand with time. More money in your hands, more money in my hands, more money in our hands is a good thing. It is a good thing. And we just need to get over it. We need to just get over it. I am making, I am in the process of making a shed load of money, not just to buy my daughter a horse one day or continue to support her horse riding career, because I know money is an amplifier. I know more money in my hands is a good thing, and I'm determined to make this world a better place. And that is the rallying cry I am leaving with you today. It is our goddamn duty right now to rise up, to resist, to refuse to believe that it's not possible for us to do the hard work. And maybe I'll reframe that. It's not hard, to do the difficult, the challenging work tends to get a bit of fun, actually, because you know what? One thing I've noticed as my business has grown, as my turnover has grown, as my capacity to receive more money and make more money has grown, I was like, actually, this is a practice and a process. Like my yoga practice, If I just dedicate myself to this and stick with it through the highs and the lows, I can't fail. This is it. And this is true for you too. All right, my darlings. So I will leave it there. Spreadsheets out. And I look, for those of you that like, I'd rather keep my head in the sand. I hear you. I hear you. I'm a wonderful leaky bucket as well. If you love to spend your money, I hear you. Like I'm here with you. And like there is an element, like if there's a fine line between saving and spending. There's a fine line between profit, turnover, and loss. There's a fine line between investments, and absolutely, like the big investments I've made in my business, I've not actually had the money to make them at the time. The money's not been sitting in my bank, put it that way. But I've absolutely energetically known that I can make that money back. I can make that money, that I'm ready for that. I'm ready for this next level. And this comes into nervous system. Like sometimes we're not ready. I don't mean like I'm ready, you're not ready. Sometimes there's other stuff going on. Sometimes we just need to be this place, just to settle in, to bed in. But notice if you've got comfortable, notice if you're telling yourself things aren't true, like saturated market. I'm going to leave it on the fact that the wellness industry is a $1 trillion industry. The yoga and wellness industry is a growth industry, right? Naturally, because I can be a bit negative about women and money. Given the length of time that we have been working on accumulating wealth individually, last 50 years or so, women are rising up, both financially and in the business world. Come on, let's be part of this wave. Let's be part of this, revolution where money is evenly distributed. Money is in the hands of good-hearted people. And on that note, dive into my website. If you'd like to work with me one-to-one, I have a couple of places coming up for September. Also, if you'd like to train me as a yoga teacher, dive over to amyyoga.com. Have a look what's going on there. Lots of options in terms of digital training courses. And if you'd like to work with me on the business front, and the one-to-one is just out of your price range at the moment, the spreadsheet says no. I get that. Never force anyone if the spreadsheet says no. You can obviously lap up the podcast for free. My Substack is £4.40 a month. £4.40 a month. Like, no, you can afford that. You can afford it. It's the cost of a coffee and cake, right? I also have some low-cost digital programs, Solid Success Formula, Ideas to Action. Ideas to Action is having a live round in September. So anyone that buys that always gets invited to the next live round. Other than that, my darling, I will see you all in August, all being well. That's the depths of the summer holidays. I'll be there. I'll need to escape my kids. Whether I'm in the cupboard or not, I don't know. All right, my darlings, I'll see you in August.